Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. How are you guys doing? You having a good Saturday? Hope so. So today, by the way, I fixed the reel-to-reel. I tried a million machine screws. I tried all kinds of stuff. I was able to push the what's left of the old screw back. I actually think those were reverse threaded from the front because I think what I was looking at was the back end of what was threaded from the other side. Anyway, I worked on that all week and I talked to a lot of people, and ultimately what I did that fixed it, keeping my fingers crossed, was a tiny little washer super glued to the front of that hub. So I hope it holds. So far so good. It's not really worth doing a video on because it's literally just a little washer glued on there, but it's working. So anyway, we'll see those on the future show at some point, but I'm glad that that project's over with because I was kind of getting bored with that. I had that thing open so long and working on it so long. I'm really ready for something new. So today, there's a couple of things that need some attention. So today we're looking at the next item, which is the 8-track player. You guys had pointed out to me that there was a little potential issue, but something that we could easily remedy. You're not going to want to miss this.
Welcome to Record-ology.
When we did the initial video on this device, those of you eagle-eyed viewers noticed that the little plastic bracket that surrounds the head has a little crack forming on top, which I guess is pretty common. And it looks like mine's about to snap. So before that happens, this should be simple, but 90% of the problems I have, I create for myself. So I really hope and pray I don't break anything. But I think all we need to do is put a little dab of super glue, because apparently that's something I can actually manage, right there at the top. So that's the goal. While we're in there, we'll try to clean it up a little bit, clean the heads, maybe lubricate it. And yeah, so join me. This ought to be interesting. Hope I don't break anything. And here she is. So I learned a lot from you guys on this device. Again, I never had 8-track as a kid, really. It wasn't a format that survived into my adolescence in terms of what we had in our family. I always thought, I honestly just didn't have much of an opinion or much of a positive opinion when it came to 8-track. I was like, so 70s looking, you know? I grew up with cassette tapes, audio, like compact cassette tapes as the primary, media. And by the time CDs rolled around, by 1991, 92, when they became pretty prevalent, I was so sick of tape and rewinding, and I was like, I wanted nothing to do with it. I totally was into the digital and all this stuff, the whole thing about digital audio. So, but now it is intriguing. It is intriguing. The whole idea of 8-track is definitely intriguing to me. But at this level, I don't want to go invest a whole lot of money. This was $10. This is a perfect investment for me. It works. It's just a player. It doesn't record. So this is as far as I got into it before. I'm not going to go into it again because we're going to take the whole thing out. And you guys said all I need to do in order to make that happen was to remove these 5 screws. These 5. The feet are probably just connected to the chassis or to the box, the cabinet. So, yeah, man, I'm so sick. The reel-to-reel. I'm one of these guys that, like, when I'm working on a project, I really want to finish it in one sitting. And that forced me to day after day after day. And I was thinking about it in the shower, thinking about it as I was going to bed, thinking about it when I wake up. And I was just, like, very spent on that topic. I still love it. I mean, reel-to-reel is still cool. But man, it's a convoluted, and so is this. So is a lot of, older media types. It's a very convoluted way to get sound. A lot has to happen. I felt something move, so I think we're making progress. Like mini disc has got to be the most convoluted way to do digital. All right. Oops. Okay. Well, I'm going to try and flip it back over because it feels right pulling it out upright. Wow, you guys are right. That was super easy. And there's the box. I guess we can just pull the power cord out now. Obviously, you're not going to want this plugged in when you do this. The box itself, interesting, pretty clean. See the glue holding those corner pieces in there? Cool. And here is the device itself. Pretty simple circuit board, monster capacitor. Here is the motor, tape mechanism. There's the back side of the door, just a little simple wire with tension on there, glued. Look at this. This is the, what is that, the headphone? Oh, that's a power switch. Alps. Probably an off-the-shelf brand of some sort. Here we've got the back side of these sliders. They're pretty well built. I've seen some other sliders that weren't that well built. And there's the board. Pretty primitive. There's a power supply. A little bit of shielding around it. You notice they put the power supply as far away from the head as possible. And there is the 8-track mechanism. There's the head. Tape sensor. A little bit of mechanics. Cap stand. Obviously that's going to drive it. So there's a direct belt connection between the motor and the cap stand. And looking underneath, there's the flywheel and the belt, which is in good shape. Yay! That's the biggest win on any tape right there, is the belt being in good shape. Interesting, bottom of the circuit board here. Look at that. It's like solder connections to everything. You know, the whole idea of a printed circuit board is pretty amazing. When you get into the older stuff, you see more manual things, you really learn to appreciate all that can be, you know, achieved with a circuit board, and especially with modern PCBs. A little bit of dust in there, easy to clean out, but remarkably clean. I would say remarkably clean. Now, see if I can see it right here. This screw going down into this bracket that holds the tape head is what we're here for. So we get set up for a different shot here, and we're going to put some glue on there. Use some Q-tips, do a little clean out work. Put it back together. I don't want to do any more. I don't want to cause any issues. So that is going to be the goal for today. Fixing problems, not creating them. Just for the fun of it, let's go ahead and play a tape. This will be where it breaks. Watch, right before I fix it. Let's go ahead and play a tape here. I do notice this thing has a lot of noise. Like, not like audible, not like audio signal noise, but like motor noise. Let's just check it out, what it looks like on the inside when you play a tape. It's quite a bit of force when that thing snaps in. Look how far in the head goes into the cassette. And you got the cap stand. Pinch roller is in the device. Ooh, I gotta keep my hands out. I'm literally sticking my hands in the thing as I'm spinning it around. Let's not do that. I don't really feel like being shocked today. But anyway, pretty cool. I love seeing how stuff works. Kind of hear that motor though. You know, it's actually coming from the cassette. I think. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It might be coming from the cassette. I'm not sure how loud they're supposed to be, but okay. And then again, to stop playing, you just yank it out of there. This particular tape has a plastic pinch roller and felt pads instead of sponge. Seems like it's in pretty good shape. It sounds good. So, okay, time to do what we came for. Okay, I cleaned up everything with some alcohol, some swabs. I only found one insect carcass. And now it's time for glue. I'm using the remainders of an old bottle of Gorilla Super Glue gel. I always thought the idea of super glue being a liquid was dumb. So, of course, gel is going to be better. I'm not going to take the screw off. I'm just going to try and kind of paint around this whole deal with a Q-tip and try to kind of nudge some glue in there on all sides. And then I'm going to be a good boy and let it dry for 24 hours, even though it is instant super glue. Get some more out of here. That's what I did. And that's really hard for me to resist temptation like that. But that's exactly what I did with the reel-to-reel too, is I waited a full 24 hours. Okay. It's super, super glued. All right. It is well coated. And hopefully that'll be some insurance against that breaking, because it looks like that part would be hard to fabricate or come across a replacement. Now, again, this is not a top-of-the-line device by any means, but I find that vintage generic is still pretty dang good. I mean, it's still metal parts. There's very little plastic, except for that piece and this piece. But pretty much everything else is metal and has lasted, 40 some odd years now. 45 years-ish probably. So that's a testament to good design, even if it is a generic-ish brand, although not really. Soundesign is a brand, but you know what I mean. It's not Sony. So I think that's about it. I'm not going to get too OCD about cleaning it. I cleaned the capstan. I cleaned the head. I cleaned off any dust that was visible. I don't think I need to... I'm trying to decide if I need to put any lube on this motor. I actually think that it's just going to be the way it is. I don't feel like taking anything apart and risking anything. So I'm going to put it back together, and I'll give you guys an update. But again, I want that glue to dry for a full 24 hours. I think that this is a good, solid play deck. And again, I only have 2 tapes. I need to get some more tapes. I'm not going to replace my entire music library on 8-track, although I haven't even done that on vinyl. So, but I would like to get a few, have a nice variety, because it is fun to listen to something different. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for the advice and the information you gave me to lead me to make this repair, I guess you would call it, preventative maintenance, whatever, and save the life of this deck. And yeah, so we'll see more of it on the channel for sure. Maybe not right away, but I'll probably update you guys at some point, at least let you know that it's working fine still, and I didn't do anything super dumb to it. And yeah, try to clean up a little bit of dust here. Everything seems to be working. So, okay, guys, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for the tip, and thanks for helping me know what I needed to do to fix this guy. I very much appreciate it. That's going to do it for today, guys. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.